It is the Tuesday album tour, and this is a very, very, very special Tuesday album tour because this is the very first Tuesday, and in fact, my very first stream as a Twitch partner. I applied and was given Twitch partner on my first application. Twitch gave me a fancy little purple check mark. I've been working towards this for a long time, since before I ever reacted to music, back when I was a Hearthstone video gamer dork. It's a really, 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 really big deal to me. I've spent, like, again, 5-6 years chasing this, so it's monstrously huge. And on the Tuesday album tour this month, we are visiting Funk. It is Funk February, my friends. This evening, we are hopping into Betty Davis and I think Fela Kuti, Afrodisiac. That's the album. That is going to be my very first album reaction as a Twitch partner. Yo, Rabbit Raff, thank you for the sub. Love you. I'm really excited about this. The reason this one ends up coming up, a lot of people kind of asked me how this one ended up falling into Funk February. And the answer is very simple for you. David Byrne. David Byrne. The amount of people that told me that David Byrne took heavy influence from this artist and this album was overwhelming to the point that it could not be ignored. If you have followed my channel for any significant amount of time, or even any, relatively small amount of time, you have clearly come to the realization that I love Talking Heads. I love David Byrne. That man writes like what my brain sounds like when I'm a less adjusted version of myself, dealing with a lot of anxiety and panic and he also hits me at my core with really deep, meaningful lyrics, even down to loving your parents, down to loving your girlfriend, down to our president being crazy, whatever it is. I got him, right? So for him to say that this man was the influence that he was is a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and part of what we do here is kind of dig into our influences, or at bare minimum, part of what I do here is dig into my influences. So when I was talking to the mod team about setting up Funk February, there was a couple of different things we kind of cross-referenced. We asked the YouTube community, we asked the Discord community, we searched online for various reputable sources telling what the all-time best funk albums were, and I would say the asterisk album of this month would be this one. Again, simply picked because of my affinity for David Byrne. Guys, this is a music discovery stream. I have to ask, are you familiar with this album, or are you raw dogging a very first listen? Again, this is going to be the first album I listen to as a Twitch partner. I know it's going to sound the same, even though my Twitch name has this cool new purple check mark next to it. It's going to sound the same whether I have that purple check mark or not. But thank you guys for being here with me, because that goal doesn't get accomplished without you guys. And the YouTuberooskis absolutely play into this as well. What we do here live is amazing on Twitch, but so many of the people from YouTube come from the YouTube side to the Twitch side and hang out and participate, and it's genuinely because of that this has grown to the point that I've gotten this opportunity. So again, thank you guys. Let's listen to Afrodisiac by, I feel like I'm going to keep messing it up. Somebody type it phonetically again for me. Fela Kuti. Fela, not Fela. I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it is very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, or join us on Kick or Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. These people over here are the best people. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I know I speak for all of us when I say we would love to have you by. Context is going to be complicated for Fela. Fela? People keep saying Fela. Am I to Fela, Tella, Fela? Okay. Got it. Oh, nope, not this. This. Raw Doggers. One more time. Identify yourselves. Who has not heard this?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I already hear it. Hey, babe! I think you would like this. It's gonna sound like funky talking heads, kind of. Fela Kuti. I genuinely already hear it. Yeah, I literally I agree. The second I heard this, I was like, yeah, Mel's gonna be in on this. It reminds me of Slippery People, dude. Like, it immediately reminds me of Slippery People. This is incredible. Take a look at these hands.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon.
That bass.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Yeah, yeah, da kuale ho. Yeah, yeah, da kuale ho. Go kuaye paye yete ho. Go kuaye paye yete ho.
Sai, seriously? 13-hour podcast and barely scratched 27 wives? He wrote bangers, though, dude. He wrote bangers. 27? It would have been cooler if you said 37, because, 37, but 27... What do the lyrics translate to? Was it 27 in a row or at once? Was this like a case of Don Juanism though, or was this like a case of like spiritual or religious Don Juanism? And I guess what I mean by that is like was like he a practitioner of a faith that enabled or encouraged him to have significant amounts of wives, or was he just like a musician that was like swanging that thing? Yeah, again, this is not. I'm not coming against anybody's place. I just don't know about the person, and I'm just looking for a little bit of background because he just crush a lot. Oh. Great call, Garrett. Yeah, can we get some W's? What'd you say, babe? It's real good. Throw W's in the chat there for Garrett, because I didn't catch the stereo horn thing as fast as he did. I think I really, really, really think he like kind of nailed it there. And apparently Mel's very first ever fish, Fela Kuti walk-in music. Thought he was at Bonnaroo 09, but it was Femi Kuti. Also, check out the encore. She sent me a link. Love it. Guys, this is so Talking Heads coded. It's unbelievable to me. Hey, good night, Schizoid. It feels like the keys are like a Rhodes being played through an overdriven amplifier, and getting caught on like a pretty big condenser microphone. Yes, Thrill, you know what I meant. Talking, it's the other way around of the way I said it.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Oh, Alu Jon Jonki Jon yo. Ya ya da ko wale ho. Ya ya da ko wale ho.
Yeah, Walrus on that right train. 1972. Him on the sax? Okay. The hand drums, right? Like the saxophone. There's a couple of different things. I'm finding that this feels like it's certainly the Venn diagram of funk and jazz, right? But the rhythm section is I don't know what I'm trying to put. it's a very dynamic rhythm section in that the amount of percussive sounds that you hear are not overwhelming, but they're very, very, very layered. And so he often performed with 15 to 20 musicians on stage. Oh my gosh, funk, jazz, West African music. Okay.
Ebi pa mi o, mo fẹ́ lọ jẹun. Ebi pa mi o, mo fẹ́ lọ jẹun.
I love this bass line.
Mo máa jàpá lọ o, àṣírí tú.
So he basically created this
Mo
genre
máa
called
jàpá lọ o,
Afro.
àṣírí tú. Mo gbọ́ bí mo ṣe ń ké, mo gbọ́ bí mo ṣe ń kọ́, mo gbọ́. Mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́, mo gbọ́. Ìyá ìyá ta kùn wálẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon.
Where in Africa is Fela from? I'm not. I'm sitting here. I don't think I've ever heard music sung in an African tongue before, like in an African language. I mean, like I not that I know off of the top of my head. Like I don't think I do. This is a first.
Ìyá ìyá ta kùn wálẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Gbogbo ayé pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Ẹ̀fọn pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Erin pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Kìnìún pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Ẹkùn pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Àjàpá pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Gbogbo ayé pa yèyé ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Àjàgbé tiẹ̀ ó dọ̀run o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Àjàgbé tiẹ̀ ó dọ̀run o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jon yo. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jon yo. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Kẹ̀kẹ́. Kẹ̀kẹ́.
Does feel a little bit like that song Cruel Summer also took a lesson or two from this album potentially. This is lovely. The keys are killing it. That road sound is so good. Tequila. See, even the phrasing and the way the keys are playing. Are there two keys playing right now? Are there two different keyboardists at one time right now? I'm thinking that same thing, Soundbites. Right here. It's the best karaoke song. away, sound bites. Welcome to the Brewskis, homie. Brewskis, make our new friend feel at home. Dun-dun-dun. I certainly think that there are multiple piano parts here because you hear this dun-dun-dun in addition to the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Nuh-uh. Thank you, Garrett. Is that a collab? Or is that a really low organ with a slow Leslie? Hand drum right ear. And left, but different one. Francine, thank you for the sub. I love this. Come on. Come on! Come on! Come on! That's the good stuff. Oh, that's the good stuff, guys. I think I filled the cup. I mean, as far as jazzy tension and release go, guys, I'm over here breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? Like that what? Oh. Yo, Frisco, welcome to the Brewskis, homie. Brewskis, make the new friend feel at home. This got so nuts.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Gbogbo ayé gba yeye ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Gbogbo ayé gba yeye ẹ̀jẹ̀ o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Àjàgbé tiẹ̀ ó dọ̀run o. Alu Jon Jonki Jon.
Could you guys do me the kindness and let me know, am I missing a tremendous amount of like social context or like cultural context by not having the lyrics translated? Because I do feel like perhaps we're ripping this off and maybe we should revisit what the lyrics are after this, after we get through it, just so we can have the conversation. I mean, again, anytime we go into a foreign language, like one that isn't my mother tongue, I do feel like it's important to revisit what it is that they are saying. Posted context above the lyrics. Okay, cool. Perfect. Posted context above the lyrics. A big reason sometimes you find that music is powerful enough to break language barriers. Then you find that when you see the lyrics, it opens up a new level of understanding and meaning to you. Okay, this song is sung in a Yoruba language and is about a dog dealing with a famine. The lyrics say, which means dog has taken his mother to the sky. It's from a Yorubian folk tale. Got it. Okay. It can also backfire. See Ramston.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon.
He was a political prisoner?
Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jonki Jon.
Why did they hate him so much? Did he steal their wives? Did he steal all of their wives? Yo, FCK G-Dub, thank you so much, my friggin' homie. It honestly, like, it still feels crazy. Like, the amount of people that said howdy partner to me when I got here today really, really made the stream a fun one to turn on.
Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jonki Jon. Alu Jon Jonki.
It definitely gives the vibe of like a crowd chanter. Like I could certainly see this awakening a crowd.
Alu Jon Jonki.
As far as tension and release moments go, dude, this one really hit. Like, this was one of the gnarly tension and release moments we've heard. But, and we've heard a lot of them, but this one just chucks a bucket of cold water all over you and then meets you with, like, your favorite food and a massage. It's really cool. Besides the point, this is gonna show a tremendous amount of my ignorance, okay? But this is just as honest as I can be. The first time I can ever recall in my life hearing the words Afrobeat were when I was listening to Remain in Light. I think it would have been that or Speaking in Tongues. It was one of them, right? And I can remember being like, oh, wow, that's cool. And not necessarily knowing what that meant. And hearing this, it's like that dot connects tremendously. It makes a lot more sense where that influence comes from. And you know, a lot of the textures getting utilized there, but then I think a lot of like the new wave would kind of go on to you know, take a play or two out of this guy's book. Maybe not in the, you know, polyamory way, but certainly in the sound layering one. That song absolutely rips. Almost half of the album too. Golly goodness. Or like a third of it. Not half. Jeun Ko Ku, Chop and Quench. What does that mean? guitars even, like this bam bam bam, like that little run that you hear. It's so nice. This is a 1972 recording of Fela's 1971 single, Chop and Flinch, which was his first commercially released single. I love this guitar tone, dude. Is that like a delay or a reverb on that saxophone? Trumpet. Duh. Sorry, you know what I meant. I promise I know the difference. Is it that there are two trumpet players and they're panned left and right? Or am I hearing a big room or like a reverb mount unit or something? Is that it's got to be a clav, right? Or really overdriven Rhodes? This was recorded at Abbey Road Studios, so I'm pretty sure they had at least some access to effects and more production techniques than in Nigeria. Okay. Just occurred to me, we were sitting here talking about a dude that laid pipe to like 27 wives, and his album title is Afrodisiac. Did they know about each other? I'm gonna have to apparently react to live Fela. They knew. Besides his marital and extramarital activities, was he regarded as like a kind, nice person? Decide if I think that this is all specifically composed or if there's an element of a jam to it that they allow. It's a jam, but held together to common rhythm idioms like the clav rhythm. Got it. As I hear it, it's like it feels like there are absolutely parts that are like obviously composed, but it feels so fluid sometimes. There's such a swing to it, like obviously, like when the horns come in, like bop, 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 that feels like it's a composed part. But some of the different things that the instrumentalists do as you're playing through, it doesn't feel like they're just kind of playing a part. It feels like there is a little bit of a exploration amongst what the instrumentalists are doing. Love it. Thank you. Keyboard starts running, it's ice. I said earlier that I didn't think I'd heard anything in an African language that off the top of my head, and I'm wrong. Mdu Mokhtar and Batsumi would both be artists that I can think of that are coming out of Africa and singing in their tongue. The madness behind these keys are so nuts. I loved this. Guys, we got to run an ad, then we're going to come back and close this bizzle down. This is already just striking me so hard in the yes feelings. I definitely want to explore more Fela. I think the next thing we do, Fela. Jeez, I keep saying it wrong, and I keep telling myself don't say Fela, and I keep saying it. I think we're gonna definitely explore something that they do live. I can't not hear talking heads in this, and it's making me smile so much. I'm really loving this, and the piano tones are just incredible. I will be right back. Smoke them if you got them. Do what you do. All right, guys, let's hop back into it. Eko. I don't know how to pronounce this. Yo, Cone coming in for 15 months. Thanks, man. Yo, get Amargosa whatever they want. Amargosa, thank you for being here, homie. You showed up for my first partner stream. His voice is just so commanding. It pushes through. He's got such like a chant to him, but it's like and if anybody could tell me what he's saying. Ile.
Hey, God, Eko, Eko,
This bum 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 is so nice. One thing I absolutely love about Fela is the whole use of dance and groove as a political statement, using the power of dance as a way of rallying people. I think dance is genuinely one of the coolest art forms, and maybe I'm biased because it's so intimately related to music, right? But I think if you've ever seen like a really good dancer just hit their parts and like really, like, you know when you've seen it, you know what I mean? And it's such like a good, watching a really good dance performance is honestly this really cool combination of like art meets athletics meets music. And so I knowing that there's dance to it makes me even more excited to see this in a live context. Are drum circles in America Fela's fault? Of course not. You hear there's like a wood block keeping like time for them in the back. I'm absolutely hearing nonstop Talking Heads inspiration. Like, as in, the Talking Heads are completely. How am I trying to put this? I don't know that I thought too deeply into who their inspirations were or what they sounded like, but as I listen to this, I can absolutely 100% identify that David Byrne listened to this and loved it, because it totally 100% translates over into what he would go on to do 10 years later. And it's so cool. One of my favorite parts about music discovery is like going deeper into the rabbit holes and kind of seeing why things sound the way they do. I had a very similar realization when I listened to the folk era of Bob Dylan, realizing like, wow, my favorite artists, Death Cab, the Decemberists, the Shins, Neutral Milk Hotel, Frightened Rabbit, these guys all ripped pages out of Bob's book. And I didn't know it until I'd listened to Bob and understood like what the deeper meaning of just an asterisk on your influences list means. In a lot of ways, I'm having that kind of same experience with David Byrne to this as I was like the Shins and Death Cab and the Decemberists and Bob. So this is really, really an exciting time. I'm not feeling saxophone. And this is Fela as well, correct? sound, is it coming in an offbeat, or are they playing a polyrhythm here? Or just hitting on like the 3? I have not. I own it though. I just haven't watched it. I wanted to do it here. The instruments kind of dropping out there, and you just getting this nice, tasty bass to the face. I love this. In some ways, this feels like doing homework on one of my favorite bands, you know? Because since I've done this stream, like, I feel like this album, like, David Byrne couldn't think of anybody else in the world he could think like that would play keys like this better than Bernie Worrell. So he's like, "Hey Bernie, will you play this live show series with me in my band Talking Heads?" And because these keys kind of do bring me to a vibe like Bernie brought to Talking Heads, but also a bit of what I've kind of heard him do now in his other works, with like Parliament, and he was on Psych Funkadelic as well, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Honestly, this keys tone has been one of the most special things of this whole album. It really has. It's been such a good sound. This album is a tremendous. I made the comment earlier. It feels a little bit like kind of doing homework on like one of my favorite bands, because in my time doing this, I would absolutely say that Talking Heads has kind of moved into one of them, right? Like they're in the conversation for being amongst my favorite bands, and a lot of it comes from, I think, just lyrical relatability, a lot of the energy, the output, a lot. I see a lot of myself there, and to kind of see some of that inspiration, and to see the catalyst. I can imagine a younger David Byrne listening to this and just being like, man, it would be cool to have a band to make music like that. And like he goes on to do it. It adds a different layer of a story that I already really liked, and that's really cool to me. Don't gag me. Is this 7/4 timing? It is every bit of my willpower right now to not try to recreate this man's voice, because my beloved is trying to sleep because she has to go to the office the next morning, as in tomorrow morning. But I think that I could maybe get my voice to growl a little bit like that, but the way he projects is so nice, especially with how kind of big the sound of his band is. Like, I want to try to do this. It is 4, but it's so, when you're so used to odd time signatures, that 4/4 starts to sound unusual. I think that this is really kind of a telltale sign that maybe we listen to too much avant-garde music, that I can't even now in my life hear a standard 4/4. But let's be real, this isn't a standard 4/4 either. Like, I'm not just getting punked by an easy 4/4 here. the record, it sticks the landing. This is my favorite song on the album when we're 3 minutes in.
I know we do. Why you look at me, you see love, I can't go to me, you see love,
I'm so impressed with this one, guys. Like, this is far and wide been my favorite one. The I'm not doing it at the volume that I could hit it at, right? But like that bit just sends this song into like out of Fenway levels, and then you get that sax solo that just, you know, so good. While this song title translates to "Don't Gag Me," as seen in the brackets, it more literally translates from Yoruba, "Let me eat my share," and is considered one of Fela's first explicitly political songs. Okay. What is this like bell jangly kind of sound I'm hearing? It sounds like they're hitting like glasses, you know, like filled with water in different keys. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's just like such a nice texture to the rest of this. A kalembe? I don't know. I don't know what it is about the background vocalist, but it adds such a heavy like atmosphere to it, like a kind of a tension to it. Like you really get that crowd chant urgency sort of thing, but then it also totally lands later in what you would hear in like new wave and 80s like American music, where they use a lot of similar like background vocal concepts in music. Oh, we're definitely listening to more of this. You know what I would like? YouTube, feel free to help the live chat out on this one. What is the quintessential, Walter, you gotta watch this live performance from Fela? I really want to know what seeing this is like. I want to see the dance component to it if there's that available. And I want to see how they put this together in a live context. I certainly am finding like that this is just hitting. It's good enough to shatter a language barrier. You know, it says a lot about it. It says a lot about it that I'm sitting here wanting to dig into more already. Like I was sitting here kind of imagining like, geez, I should let my, child one day hear this and just tell them this is how to play the bass, and then just only let them listen to funk music and think that's just how people play the bass, so that their only concept is just being the best bass player ever. And it's funny, but like it's listening to music like this that makes me think like, wow. Like the different use cases of where they're like where things are falling, like the way that the bass player and the drummers kind of line up and sort of step away from each other at times just to kind of fall back together. This whole thing is super nice. Victor Wooten for sure. Got a little bit of an organ here. In interesting ways, without the guitar, it reminds me a little bit of Santana's music. You know, like it doesn't have Santana, and maybe the keys are filling the place of what Santana would have been playing on the guitar here, but it does remind me a bit of what we'd heard together with Santana at Woodstock. You're absolutely right, Grill. I just noticed the grapevines up Afrodisiac. he came. Oh, wow. It kind of spaceyed out there. It certainly has a little bit of psychedelic tendency to it, but it's like I don't think that they set out to do that intentionally. I don't guess they did. I feel like it just kind of happened because of the sound textures, but something there. Is it conventional for African music to have long jams like this, or for songs to just be longer? I feel like I identify sometimes that they have like a standard verse chorus structure, but like it's not like they have a bridge or anything that I can identify. It feels like a lot of it, they kind of let it breathe, let it have a lot of personality. Like they kind of let it go for a while, and I feel like they intentionally create a lot of space to kind of let movement happen in between what the words are saying. Almost as if it's intended to be participated with, and as opposed to just listened to. And then just a bop. Whoa. Real Fonzie move there. Whoa. I honestly really wasn't sure what I was going to be walking into when I came into this album. And obviously, that's like an easy thing to say when you have like a music discovery channel, right? Like, of course, I haven't heard it, but I didn't necessarily know what it was to expect of the sound. I didn't think it was going to be as jazzy as it was. I certainly didn't think it was going to be as energetic as it was. I wasn't quite sure which specific parts, other than maybe the rhythm parts, I might find to have like influenced David Byrne, but it absolutely seems to just be like this album absolutely is all over Talking Heads DNA. And it's really cool to see. And again, to connect that dot, it just feels like a really big connection. This is not something I ever would have gone out of my way to listen to had somebody not told me something about it, but it's something I'm like so much the better for having heard. I feel like it's another avenue of music that is kind of one of the, like I'm committed to seeing what this is like live now. So I've got I know I've got a video. I'll have to revisit that later, but definitely let me know if there's like a live concert or like a live set or something that's just really like the quintessential you gotta watch This Is Fela, YouTube comment section. Guys, that was my first album reaction as a YouTube and a Twitch partner. So thank you guys for being here. First timers, let me know, what did you think of this one? Could you hear the David Byrne influence in what he did with Talking Heads? Because I definitely did. There's no doubt. I came expecting to hear something that David Byrne was influenced by, and that is exactly what I got. I don't know how I mean, it certainly has like funk vibes, but it's definitely different than the funk I'd sort of anticipated running into. So we'll have to see what's going on there. But anyway, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.